and welcome to the B side, where we talk about Bond shit that's not necessarily the movies. And today, we're going to be talking about Bronson's Henchmen, the henchmen from the Bronson Bond movies. And as we've done in many episodes before this, we're going to break down these henchmen and try and rank them. So let's get started. We have four guys to choose from here. Does anybody have a strong feeling about somebody? Like who do you think should be last?
Well, here, before we get started, why don't we have Tom the historian break down the four henchmen here?
Yeah, like I didn't memorize them all that
Like
much.
a scene by scene.
Like I don't know, when we get talking about it, it always jogs the memory and everything. Really, like I remember in pictures. Like,
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
But-
I do have kind of a strong feeling here. I think Onatop is a terrible villain, and I think she should be last.
Oh my goodness, that surprises the heck out of me.
Her signature move is she strangles people with her thighs.
Love it.
My last, and I thought it was obvious, was Stamper, because he's never really fully formed as a henchman in any way, shape, or form. Even his name, and I've heard this, he's Stamper, and part of the gimmick was supposed to be that he hurts people by stamping on them with his boots, but
Really?
they never did
Oh,
anything
yeah.
with it. Maybe that's good, I don't know, but he's just a guy.
What about Renard?
Renard's fairly interesting.
Renard is. I honestly, you could make the case that he's the better villain in his movie, better than Elektra.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah, that's Elektra King's
yeah,
Okay,
lover
yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
that's the argument to be made there. Who's the? Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I find, and you know, we're still landing on who's 4 out of 4 here, but I think Onatop is a great hench person.
Why do you think that?
Well, Ray kind of spelled it out. I mean, first of all, it's a woman, obviously.
It is. Yes.
So that's not entirely different for a Bond movie, but it's notable when a woman is, doing the dirty work, and so forth. Her means of killing people is, interesting. You can't watch it with your kids, but it's interesting. She's got like this bloodlust,
She does.
where like she enjoys watching people
definitely
be
does
killed
that.
and stuff. And she died great.
Refresh my memory. How did she die?
She's attached to a parachute or something, and gets pulled up and like wedged between a tree. She herself gets squeezed at the end.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
pretty much dies like how she kills others
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah, I
Like,
do
it's-
remember that now.
See, I
Yeah.
always thought she was kind of like the perfect henchman because she was psychopath.
She was a psychopath. Yes.
She did a lot of good. She got her missions done pretty
Yeah,
much.
but,
I mean,
like-
she
Like her big missions were like killing old men and stuff. They weren't.
Yeah,
she
but I
wa- and,
mean,
like
She stole that
I-
copper.
she
I haven't
was
heard anybody
successful.
argue for Zhao yet, though.
and then Anya Top was
Yeah.
also expendable because you could do with her, do without her, because you still on the same path regardless.
And again, you can't watch it with your children, but her fight with Bond in the sauna or whatever
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
No more
All
foreplay.
right, you've talked me out of Onatop being last. I don't know that you're gonna get me to the top here, but you've talked me out of Onatop being last.
Okay.
So, Ray, I mean, of those, who do you think is last? I truly think Stamper undoubtedly is
Uh,
last.
I don't know, because I don't really have strong feelings about Zhao either. Because he just,
Yeah, Zhao didn't do a ton either.
yeah.
I mean, Zhao was Stamper without the physical prowess. He was just more
Because
like,
then his
I'm
own,
gonna shoot people.
then his own boy kind of kill him. Or how'd he die?
How did Zhao die?
I feel like his boy killed him.
At the very least, Zhao looked cool.
Yeah, with the diamond face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wasn't he having his... I'm having trouble recalling exactly.
The chandelier falls on.
Oh.
The ice chandelier falls on.
Which is not a great way to go.
It is not.
Yeah, it's,
We could probably do. Okay, so we could probably do Renard 1, Anya Top 2, Zhao Stamper, or Stamper Zhao. I feel like that's kind of like a.
let's say I'm strangely okay with that.
So what's your case for Zhao over Stamper?
I really don't have one. That's why that's why I'm kind of like one or the other, one or the other.
I'll do it just because, like I said, Barry had to go the extra mile to find out why they call this guy Stamper.
Yeah, but we don't know why they call anybody anything. That's not like
Well,
we
Well,
don't
we know why they
No,
call
but
Penny
it's-
Onatop Onatop.
We know why it's Onatop. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's more like
why is his name Renard? Why is his name Zhao?
Because he's
well,
we
but
don't
I
know.
mean, but this is one of those where you would expect it to be. It's kind of like Jaws, and then you see the smile. Like you gave him a name that is kind of weird, and you expect to see like the pun. Like you expect like him to stomp
where's
somebody
the
to death.
gimmick?
It's
Yeah.
like where
Yeah,
do you wear lead boots, and that's what makes you stomp people? Like it's something that is tied to the title that you never see, and like you said, it just never develops.
But see, the Stamper nickname would be something that I would think you would give to a public notary. Oh, there you go, Stamper, got it again.
Well, let me ask you this though.
I would like, yeah, if you fucked people over, if you were like the henchman, bureaucratic for them, yeah, like, yeah, I'm the Stamper. Like, I put everything on paper that takes your property. Like, yeah, I can do that. Like, I'm a notary. Like, it's just, like,
Take your ass 2 counties down,
Yeah.
bitch. I'm not stamping.
I believe
nothing.
you have been foreclosed on. Like, it's just, like,
It's official.
yeah, like, I mean, but like you said, well, like, was Zhao like, I don't know, like,
I think Zhao, and maybe I'm wrong on this, like he started out pretty strong in Die Another Day. And it's been a while, but it seems like maybe it just kind of piddled out. Like there was nothing great that he did throughout the movie.
I would agree with that.
yeah, like I said, it just was. The character just wasn't developed very well. Like, some of the henchmen just aren't. Like I said, we've seen it
Yeah.
in past ones before and everything. Like, some of them just get more airtime than others. That's all.
Right.
Like,
So then are we all agreeing then that potentially Stamper and Zhao are the bottom two? Is that
I think we've come to that conclusion.
yeah, we're pretty much arguing over last place.
yeah, and I don't care which order, frankly, obviously.
Well, how'd Stamper die?
Well, Bond kills him in that submarine thing. They have a big fight scene, and then Bond stabs him, doesn't he?
I can't recall.
I'm watching it right now. I just haven't gotten to the end yet. They're just fighting now.
I almost feel like if a chandelier kills you, you might have to be last. But if you go head to head with the
Oh
assassin,
no, he drops the bomb on him. Cause Stamper's kicking the crap out of him, and he drops that bomb on his leg.
because they're in that small little.
They're that small. He drops the bomb on his leg, and Stamper's trapped.
Mm.
So then, right there, yeah, the thing.
See,
yeah,
and his legs traps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right there. All right.
they just didn't develop it.
Yeah.
You guys are really hung up on this Stamper thing.
Well,
I mean, it's kind
dumbass
of an
name.
interesting little thing.
Yeah, like I said, we're arguing about 1 and 2. Like,
And I'm fine with whatever order all of them are, frankly. I'm definitely okay with whatever order 3 and 4 land on. I will make a brief argument for Onatop over Renard, but then I'm indifferent. And I think Renard's is in many ways a better character, but I do think that for people my age, your guys' age, largely Zinnia Onatop is more iconic and more well known than Renard, who is, does play second fiddle big time to
Electric King.
Yeah.
Yes, he does, but I also think he's the most fleshed out of all the characters.
I agree.
By far. Like, we know a lot about him by the time he dies at the end of that movie.
but it's because from the very beginning he's presented as the main bad guy.
Yes, he is. That's
you
true.
don't like he's the only henchman to have that status.
that's very true. Yeah, I
like
didn't think about it like that.
Like they didn't go after like Jaws or like any of the other guys or whatnot. Like it's like, oh, this is the big guy and everything that we gotta get. Like he's the mastermind or like Teehee's ass or nothing like that. Like, they were going after him and all that. But
That's true. And he
That's
holds
your argument for putting him ahead of Onatop?
well,
good
no, like
argument.
I would say no. My main argument is that he's a more effective killer as a whole. Because you got to remember, he was acting under the guise like he's being manipulated throughout this whole thing as well. Like
That's
he
true.
doesn't even realize it. So like I said, in his mind, it's a lot of righteous indignation on his part. Like he thinks he's doing the right thing, and he thinks that it's a team with her and him. He doesn't see that she's actually in charge and he is a henchman. He thinks that it's a dynamic and all that they're
Yeah, he
together.
thinks it's like more of a partnership.
Yeah, and that
whereas-
is not what's presented in all the others and all that.
Mhm.
So I mean, I think that's what makes him more dangerous because, like I said, then he goes out and he like runs whole organizations and stuff like that, and is effective at it, and like is a really good terrorist in that way. Whereas like old girl just kills old men with the honey pot. Like it's low hanging fruit as a writer. Like I get it, it's effective, but out of the two, like you're clearly just an assassin. You're clearly a mob boss. Like there is a difference in everything. Like take away her sexuality, if she was a fat, ugly chick, would she be as effective? No.
Which wouldn't be effective at all, probably.
But I'll say this:
but
On
that's
an
what I
all-you-can-eat
mean.
in-
buffet, she would.
in this film franchise.
It's the Marine mentality.
Sometimes the lowest common denominator's okay. You know, like
So are
it
you
doesn't-
advocating fat chicks?
doesn't have to be explored too much. You know,
I'm just stating facts.
I think I don't know whether he was even intending to, but I think Tom just laid out a pretty fantastic argument for Renard at one.
Okay.
I mean, he does carry that movie for a long time. Like Bond's even kind of in the background for a little while, and you're really concentrated on Renard and all the things he's doing around the world.
Well, because it's supposed to, it even dupes MI6, remember?
Yeah,
Like,
it
right
does.
there, even with, like, M in the room and all that. It's like, oh, I got one over on all of you. Like, that's the big aha in that movie.
And with Onatop, you never thought she was ever in charge because she always had either the
She-
general or
like,
you had
what-
Trevelyan
What-
with her.
Yeah, they played up the crazy on her too much to where, like, yeah, you could never be a leader.
And he got a legit death. I mean, isn't that the one where Bond shoots the rod through his chest?
Yeah, because remember, he can't.
The plutonium rod?
Yeah, but remember, that's also where we got into the argument of, like, that should have made you stronger. It's like, the more pain you feel, the more you're supposed to become stronger and everything. Like,
He's not the Hulk.
no, but it was one of those things
He
that
doesn't
where, like,
feel pain.
that's another
The
thing
pain
I
doesn't make.
thought about that character
Yeah.
was they did suggest at times and even did it where like he was stronger,
yeah,
but really
like,
what
But then other
what it was
times it
supposed to be was that he just didn't feel pain.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't feel pain. Yeah.
You know, but well, which is it? You know.
yeah. Well, like I said,
I'm fine with. I like Renard, and I agree that he's a more fleshed out character.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Oh,
do
yeah.
truly believe that if you asked, 50 James Bond fans, who's the more memorable character, you're gonna hear Zinni on
Well,
the top.
let me ask.
oh, I don't.
Should we leave it to a phone call? Should we call somebody and ask? Just call a James Bond fan and be like,
Well,
"Who-
here's-
pick between the two."
You,
Sure.
like I said, you would,
I'm
you
down
would,
with it.
you would have to do that and give because I don't think both these names. I think if you just ask me, name me a Bond villain, you wouldn't get either of those names. You wouldn't get anybody on that
Oh,
list.
I think most people know Onatop.
No,
I mean, I
think-
remember Onatop, but
I
that's only
think you-
because when Goldeneye came out, that was like the big, we're back. This movie, we're back.
Yeah, there was
Big
after that
time,
was
we're
after
back.
the big.
Then you had the marketing,
lull.
and then you had the video game, and it was just out there.
Oh,
The
so
other three, you don't really hear about a lot.
I think
does,
you. I
does
think
Willie
you would
watch
get.
Bond?
I think he just went to work.
Oh, he just went to work.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I think honestly, I think if you asked about like iconic like henchmen and stuff, like you would probably like get the cliches. Like you would get like the knickknacks, the teehees. Like you would probably get a lot of those people.
Well, I would probably say Odd Job is probably up there before a lot of names.
Oh yeah, like I said, everybody.
Odd job.
Even
yeah.
if they don't know, they would say the chubby Asian guy that throws the hat.
Yeah.
Like they said, they may not know the name, but like I said, there's. Like you
yeah,
said,
but
there's
you
so many
you
more
all
iconic
ganged up on me and threw Odd Job way down the list. You three were on drugs that night. I don't know what the hell y'all were doing. Y'all made Odd Job like fourth on that list. So
Well, it is what it is.
Hey, Connery fought against a lot of cool guys. Like it's a hard list. But your list.
wins.
that's right, not my list.
Like,
Well, I can certainly accept Renard at one. I think it makes perfect sense.
yeah. Well, like I said, I feel like it's a distant one because, like I said, then you have her, and then like I said, the other two are just underdeveloped.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
If only they would have included more stamping.
well, like I
And-
said, or at least like give me something. Like it wouldn't even taken much too. Like I said, how much effort would it have taken just to like show him off some like side character that doesn't matter in that manner just to
Yeah.
prove the point?
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be like I said. It's the same way that Blofeld had like the guy with the poison knife in his shoe, just like ankle the guy that one time. It's like it came up later. Watch out for that. Like you can do it in like a matter of minutes. Like it doesn't take much. We just didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So
Good.
ultimately, however you guys like, I'm obviously okay with.
Where are you at, Ray? On the top two.
I was gonna say Renard 1, Onatop 2.
You cool with that, Ray? Or Barry? I mean.
Yeah.
All right. So Renard 1, on your top 2, and then we still never decided between the bottom 2 either.
No,
I think Zal's cooler than Stamper. That's me, but whatever.
I think I'll say he's cooler.
Yeah, but I think Stamper was tougher.
Like I said, he was. Yeah,
He beat the dog crap out of Bond at least once, if not twice.
Huh.
By the way, I think I said this off air, Barry, and you weren't in the room. I read an article yesterday that said that Stamper, the guy that played Stamper, I mean, was told to play Stamper just like the guy from Russia with Love, the henchman from Russia with Love.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
No, I'm with Ray though. Stamper than Zal.
All right.
Fair enough.
All right, there we go.
So that makes our final ranking. Renard, Onatop, Stamper, and Zhao are the order of the henchmen in the Brosnan movies. Thanks for tuning in
Brosnan.
to the B-side. I almost said Blockbuster Bums.
Woo!